this is my child and people are holding hearings about my child, I'm going to be front and center up on my hind legs talking about what I want and don't want. So why were you not reading the papers? Why were you not in court?
I wasn't in court because I wasn't served to the current address that I lived at, so I wasn't aware that it was going on. She said nothing. She acted like everything's peachy, so I didn't know.
You say she wasn't served because she gave you a phony address.
She never gave us current addresses. She moved. I would ask her what her address was. She would dance around the question or evade the question, and I eventually asked the investigator to find out where Nicole lived, and she had given me what she said was an apartment number. That turned out to be the mailbox number at the apartments where she lived, and so even then it wasn't a physical address.
Okay, well, here's what the court said. The minor child is exposed to substantial risk of bodily harm as a result of the defendant's neglecting his medical condition and being removed from the state of North Carolina as a result of fraudulent conduct on the part of the defendants. Did you defraud the court?
No, I did not.
Well, I read the court ruling in detail, and they said that you perpetrated a fraud on the plaintiffs and you perpetrated a fraud on the court by taking an old signature page to a previous filing, putting it with a new filing, and giving it to the court, which said that they had agreed to return custody to you, and the court said that was fraudulent, that they did not sign that. It was substituted into a different document. Did you substitute the signature page to a different document?
No, I did not. I had no reason to do so.
She had every reason to do so, and she even admitted it to her dad when she called from the road. He asked her, why did you do this? And she said, because you never would have signed.
No. He asked, why did you not discuss with me beforehand the changes? The changes being that the visitation was different and that the 60 days notification was not in the documentation.
Well, this is an unusual situation because you're saying didn't happen, and the court said did, and awarded custody back to your mother.
The court said did because they won by default. I was not served. I didn't know that a court hearing was going on, or I would have been there.
Now, Leslie, a former landlord of Nicole, says Nicole was such a bad tenant that she was forced to take her to court as well.
Nicole was the type of tenant that a landlord hopes to never have. She was irresponsible.
For Leslie to call me irresponsible is pretty outrageous because she doesn't know me.
She would abandon her cat for days to weeks on end.
The cat was an outdoor cat, and it had food and water outside.
She just took off and left without any notice, without any warning. The whole place was stinking to high heaven. All the food in the freezer and the refrigerator had all rotted. There was a whole sink load full of dirty dishes. There were bags of garbage and used diapers. And there was also some urine-stained sheets. The place was a disastrous mess. My first thought after Nicole had left was I would be really concerned about Ethan if she's going to treat Ethan the way that she treated her cat, because it takes a lot to be a parent.
Well, what do you say about this? Was the place a disaster? I mean, was it urine-soaked? Did you abandon your cat? Was there rotting food? I mean, all of this is suggestive of if that's what somebody finds when they walk in your door, then that may be exactly what a child would be living in before they opened that door.
No, it was not a disaster. The cat was an outdoor cat. It had food and water outside. I did not leave for days. I lived in that house. And when I left, she did have notice. I'm not disputing everything. Yes, I did leave the place a mess. I am disputing the fact that I didn't pay my rent.
But she went to court and got a ruling against you for unpaid.
Mm-hmm.
Why would the court award that if it had already been paid?
I paid my rent every month.
Well, Leslie is here. She had a laundry list of complaints about her former tenant, Nicole. Excessive noise, moved out and left rotting food, garbage bags filled with dirty diapers, urine-soaked sheets, abandoned her cat, cat ruined the neighbor's rug, killed her bird, didn't pay the last month's rent, didn't pay late fees. Leslie, you're saying she just didn't take care of business?
No, she did not take care of business.
Is this what, Barbara, is this what you're afraid of if Ethan is back in her custody?
This is exactly what I'm afraid of. I arrived for a visit with Ethan and Nicole to find the duplex that I had worked hard to set up for Nicole, and I got it totally set up for her, by the way, with no help from her. I don't think she was there 5 minutes the whole week. We did this for Ethan and Nicole, hoping that she could get on her feet. And when I came back 2 months later to find urine-soaked clothes all over the floor, to find hardly any food in the kitchen, to find she had basically ruined what I worked so hard to put together.
Is that what she found?
I am disputing the fact that there were urine-stained clothes all over the floor. That's ridiculous. Yes, I have food in my house. I'm not totally disputing what Leslie said. I don't think that it was right for me to leave the place a mess. But when I lived in the house, it had food. It had everything that I needed, that Ethan needed.
All right, we got to take a break. We come back. Nicole says that she was tricked into signing custody over of Ethan, and she thinks it was her mother's plan all along to take her son away, and that she's just building a case against her. And so the question is, was this premeditated? Did Barbara have ulterior motives? And is she just getting slammed with a bunch of half-truths and misinformation? We're going to drill down on that when we get back.
When it comes to Ethan, my mom constantly attacks me on everything.
Somebody had to step in and take care of that child's needs.
It's not her place. Bottom line is, I'm his mom.
We don't have a health plan.
We have a plan to stay healthy.
Tired of the hardship.
I'm living on less.
But I'm living more.
Recovery. My credit cards are maxed out.
But my brain isn't.
Change is coming. Is it coming to you?
It's my life.
Every crisis, every problem, every life has a turning point.
It's my time.
Every day is a turning point.
If you need a miracle, be a miracle.
Dr. Phil.
Start a change reaction in your life today.
I'm failing. No big deal.
What about college?
Face it, I'm not getting into college.
Fighting doesn't work.
Can't let him keep failing.
Maybe he'll outgrow it.
It's not just a phase. You saw his report card.
Ignoring it doesn't work.
Ma, I said I'd do better. Saying it and doing it are two different things.
Punishment doesn't work. What does work is the Huntington Learning Center. By improving basic skills, we build motivation and confidence, and kids look forward to learning. Call 1-800-CAN-LEARN today. Your child can learn.
The wrong time to think about car insurance is when you need it most. Meet Jill. Jill has AAA auto insurance. Jill knows that her AAA insurance is just as dependable as the emergency roadside service she gets from AAA. So, if you've been wondering about your insurance, call us for a quote today and find out how additional coverage options make auto insurance from AAA more affordable than ever. And with over 90 years of insurance experience, AAA has seen it all. So if Jill ever does have a claim, she knows her AAA insurance team is dedicated to getting her vehicle repaired and back on the road, just like it never happened. Call right now or visit your local AAA office for a no-obligation auto insurance quote, and you'll get this complimentary accident claim kit just for getting a quote. This kit includes a disposable camera, information checklist, a flashlight, and more. Because AAA wants you to be prepared for whatever the road brings you. Call AAA Insurance now. Get more. Get AAA.
Personal injury attorney, Mosley Collins.
Hi, I'm attorney Mosley Collins. People go to doctors and hospitals to get help, but sometimes they get hurt. If you've been hurt by a doctor or a hospital and need a lawyer, call me. There's never a fee until I win your case.
Dial 444. 4444. Just remember, all fours for legal help.
Today we're talking about a custody battle. We have a child, Ethan. He's just a precious 6-year-old boy. Barbara says she was just being a doting grandmother when she and her husband offered to take guardianship of their grandson. Now, Ethan's mom, Nicole, says she was tricked into signing over custody. What is your motive here? I mean, are you trying to control her, or are you trying to help her? or are you just trying to protect Ethan? I mean, where are you coming from on all of this? I've been sitting here watching the dynamic between the two of you. You seem to have no emotion for your daughter at all.
That emotion died over the years. You just get to the point where you realize, am I going to worry about my daughter's needs or am I going to worry about Ethan's needs?
But is getting custody of Ethan just a big gotcha on your daughter, or do you really believe that he is not safe with her?
I didn't even insist on custody until Nicole failed to provide the medical attention he needed.
But did you not? I mean, this kind of reflects on your parenting.
Yeah, I
because
realize
you
that.
raised her. I mean, did you raise her to be such an irresponsible person? And if so, are you going to do the same thing with Ethan?
I raised her, I thought, with compassion, but apparently that hasn't transpired.
Well, because here's what we know. She doesn't do drugs. She doesn't drink. You know, she's not homeless. She's not, out rattling around. She's obviously takes pretty good care of herself. She doesn't appear to be how you describe her or how the court has found her to be in their rulings.
I understand that. It was very difficult for me, particularly this last round, to go back to Oregon, to prove that the proof that I'm not trying to be controlling is in the fact that she left, like I said, like a thief in the night with my grandson, called me from Kansas, or didn't even call me. I had to.
Okay, but hold on a second. She didn't leave like a thief in the night with your grandson. If she did anything, she left like a thief in the night with her son. It's her son first and your grandson second. So, but you say she did that because she defrauded the court.
Correct. She left knowing that I would wake up in the morning to find them gone. She pretended up to the last minute that she was not going anywhere with Ethan.
Is she irresponsible in the other parts of her life, or just as a parent?
Nicole has had difficulty finding a career path. Luckily, she finally, I believe, has settled in that area.
You do have a job, right?
I do.
Okay, and what is your job?
I work in admissions for a college, so I have a good job. I've been there for a year.
But a year doesn't prove job stability. This child, she has, she's going to be long-term raising this child. And prior to that, it was very, very unstable with, well, I'll try this. She tried dental assisting, and then she tried
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said I'm 25. I'm not 42 and still struggling with a career.
Okay, but
25.
But do you acknowledge that she's held this job for a year? And
I do.
I tell you, would anybody work for me for a year if they didn't do their job? I mean, at a month or two, I'd be saying, you need to go somewhere else.
I'm very pleased that she has become stable with her job.
Is it your goal to keep and raise Ethan into adulthood?
I want to keep Ethan as long as it is in his best interest to keep Ethan. I would love to see Ethan go back to his mother into a stable environment.
Let me ask you, if you thought it was such a dangerous and unstable situation when the court said that it was a fraudulent modification of the custody order and awarded custody back to you, why did you wait 17 days to go get him?
I didn't wait. I waited till my attorney said, okay, you have a legal right now to go.
And you turned him over when she showed up?
Yes.
We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk to a friend of Nicole's. She's been her friend for 18 years. She has a different point of view on this. She says this entire thing boils down to Barbara's need to control her daughter, and that it didn't just start with Ethan. We'll be right back.
Nicole is a spectacular mother. I don't believe that my mom has the right to be critical of me as a mom because she made a lot of mistakes herself. I believe Barbara wants to have a second chance at raising Ethan.
And later,
I don't know why anyone would see that uprooting him right now and sending him back to his mother because she claims to be stable makes sense.
So he can become further detached from me?
He's not detached from you. He's not.
He's not near me.
Gorton's Potato Crunch Fillets. Crunchy breading outside for a real potato chip flavor.
Only from Gordon's.
Trust the Gorton's fisherman.
New Blue Diamond Oven Roasted Almonds. No added oil, more flavor, more satisfying to put your hunger on hold. Blue Diamond Oven Roasted Almonds. More than a snack.
Lightning filled the sky last night and possibly more on the way. What makes these storms so unique? Plus, as one woman lies in the hospital after being struck by lightning, another woman tells us what it was like when she was struck.
Tonight at 5.
This is Bjorn. He's a buyer for a New York boutique for men. He's also European, which means he has cool European hair and wears cool European clothes and writes those cool European ones that look like sevens, which means his order of embroidered shirts will be 7 times greater than it was supposed to be. And Marshalls will snag those designer shirts at an absurdly low price. His European flair is now your shopportunity. It pays to be shopportunistic.
For 3 years, he's had to survive the boss.
You're being deported.
Deported?
Pardon the interruption.
We're getting married.
Have the two of you told your parents?
We're going to their place this weekend.
Oh, where's that? Alaska.
Alaska.
But now, she'll have to survive his family.
We have a whole day planned for
On June 19th, you're invited to the biggest event of the summer.
What is that?
It's the morning.
The proposal.
Maybe a tad loose in certain areas.
It's like an Easter egg hunt. There they are.
Rated PG-13.
Me. Yeah, like I'm gonna sing. But don't worry, on Save with Dave, we're gonna give you a chance to experience a night at the opera that would normally cost you hundreds. It'll be free.
Save with Dave, tonight on the CBS 13 News at 5.
well, today we're unraveling the story, or at least trying to, of Barbara, a grandmother who has taken full custody of her 6-year-old grandson from Nicole, her own daughter. Now, Melissa has been friends with Nicole since they were in the 2nd grade. And she says Barbara always made Nicole feel like she wasn't good enough and says that she has always been controlling.
Barbara and Nicole never got along.
Nicole and I have had a rock relationship since her teenage years.
This whole custody battle is to gain control over Nicole, her child, and her life. I believe Barbara thinks that she did poorly at raising Nicole. She wants to have a second chance at raising Ethan. Barbara has made